So the thing that we really have to talk about.
Okay. Where are we going?
MLS playoffs.
MLS playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
This is why we're here. Actually, we're supposed to be talking about this 30 minutes ago. This is how we roll.
I like how it derailed.
But anyway, so we're going to go through all of the MLS bracket.
Oh.
Carmen hopefully can bring it up. And let's make predictions. Let's make a call. And let's say, you want to put a bet on it?
Yeah, let's.
All three of us are going to
course.
make predictions.
What do we got?
And whoever wins the most in round one wins the bet.
I love this.
All right.
So we're going team by team?
We're going each matchup. Yeah.
And all
Okay.
y'all out there on the chat or whatever. Also,
Okay,
put your
Carmen, you
predictions.
get to decide whether we're starting in the East or the West.
Let's go west.
Okay,
first.
start on the
West.
West.
I like
So
it.
the playing game, which is going to occur this Wednesday, is Sporting Kansas City versus San Jose.
Hmm.
Who you got?
Carmen, go.
Kansas City. Or Sporting Kansas.
I'm going to go with San Jose.
I'm going to take Sporting Kansas City.
I needed to have printed all
Right.
of this out.
Well, you have it recorded, so it's
Okay.
fine.
Oh, yeah, I can go back and listen.
Yeah, well, we do have a podcast. I don't know if you know.
Gosh.
All right.
Genius. All right.
Now, obviously, we're going to go on. So you'll say whoever wins that game. So in your case, you'll
Right.
take San Jose. We're going to go on to predict them versus St. Louis. So Mikey Dobbs, San Jose versus St. Louis.
St. Louis.
Carmen, Sporting Kansas City or St. Louis?
St. Louis.
And I got St. Louis as well.
Okay, and to
What a
clarify,
story.
so the wild card is how do they set that up?
That's just
It's
a
just
one game playoff.
One
We'll
game.
know by Thursday. Well,
Okay.
Wednesday night.
And then everything else is 3 games?
Yep.
Okay.
3-game series.
Yeah. So
Got it.
that St. Louis is the best of 3.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'm still going St. Louis.
So the 1 versus the 8 is either St. Louis versus San Jose or St. Louis versus Kansas City.
All right.
All right. So now
What did you go with? Or you
I
picked-
went with St. Louis.
Yeah,
All three of
St.
us
Louis.
went
All three of
St.
us,
Louis.
okay.
So
All
that wasn't very exciting.
I'll go ahead and say Houston in the next round. against-
Houston versus Real
yeah,
Salt Lake.
Houston versus Real Salt Lake. I say
Ooh.
Houston.
That's the 4-5.
I say
game.
Houston.
Ooh.
Houston.
I'm going Real Salt Lake.
And I'm gonna go Houston as well.
All
Okay.
right.
I'm going LAFC over Vancouver for sure.
Same.
And I'm gonna go same.
Yeah. And I will go Seattle over Dallas as well.
Carmen.
Nah, Seattle.
You know better, Dave.
Don't do it.
Seattle.
Don't do it.
Seattle.
So did we just agree?
Yeah,
It
we
seemed like
have
we
all the 1, 2,
agreed.
3, 4 seeds going
Let's see,
through.
Do we have anything? What do we got? Let's see. Anything about anyone make any predictions?
St. Louis to the final, Elliot says.
All right.
Hey.
Okay. All right.
St. Louis is
St. Louis is not getting to the final.
They're not, but they're punching above their weight this year. I
Yep.
love it. Okay. So now we got to go to the other side, right?
Go ahead.
Yeah, unless you want to keep go through the whole bracket, but then it's silly because then
Yeah,
you don't know
it's
what the
silly.
winners are going to
It's
be.
silly. I
right?
think we just go.
Just go
to the
first round.
first-
And we'll rebet.
Yeah.
After the first round.
All right.
So we are, I would say, dear podcast listeners, I think that this is it's a turning point in the ATL on fire, right? Because I think we started out as Atlanta United fans and football fans, and I think we've slowly become MLS fans.
Yeah.
I'll speak for myself, not for you all, but I think so. And I think that we are in the podcast business for the MLS playoffs, even if when Atlanta United goes out,
Okay.
right? So
Oh, yeah,
I think
yeah.
we can podcast about it, and we can make some bets in the further rounds.
Especially if we make our way to a vineyard in North Georgia.
Yes, That would
Because
be
I don't,
fun.
because we haven't talked about the Atlantic Columbus game, but
it's coming.
I think we're going to be 1, 2, and done.
No.
Okay, so first of all, Red Bull New York versus
Charlotte.
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 Sorry, Charlotte.
Charlotte.
Right.
I'm going to go Red Bull. Red Bull.
I'm gonna go Charlotte.
I think that's
Red Bull are the better team, but you gotta love Charlotte in their first ever playoff experience.
Where's
It'll
the
be hot.
games at home
It's at
for
Red
Red
Bull.
Bull? Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm going Red Bulls.
Yeah, you've been there on the way, right? How was the crowd? Was it fearsome?
It was not.
He
I
went
actually-
to a way
I
playoff
went
game.
to the semifinal in
Yeah.
2018.
Oh.
Atlanta United drew that game,
Okay.
but talked a lot of smack to some local New York people. It was fantastic, especially after the Falcons 28-3.
Ugh.
Ugh. So where are you going? Red Bulls, Charlotte.
I'm gonna go with Red Bulls. I should have picked Charlotte, but they're not a better team.
All right.
Sorry.
So
That's all right.
So then
Carmen,
now,
you went Charlotte.
Yeah.
Carmen,
Okay.
Charlotte versus Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
Mikey Dobbs, Red Bulls versus Cincinnati.
Red Bull.
Woo!
He says Noonan. I think this is a good bet. All right,
Really?
there's going to be an upset. Cincinnati is one to go, but I'm still going to take Cincinnati over Red Bull. But I think it's not a bad pick.
It's just kind of
a
that.
sleeper.
It's like the outlier bet. Like it makes no sense. That's why I'm going for it.
I like it.
In the playoffs, it's funny because in the new playoff structure, everybody says blah blah blah. It's too many teams make the playoffs, so it's open or whatever. But actually, the last number of years, maybe all time, but certainly the last number of years, lower seeds have not gone anywhere in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Oh, really? There haven't been many upsets.
And MLS is the number one worst league worldwide of the major leagues, and the number one worst league in the U.S. of all sports in terms of least winning percentage on the road. So there's no sport.
Yeah.
Comparatively, it's all normalized.
So I'm definitely going against it because Red Bull is going to be playing in Cincinnati too.
Yep.
Those 3 games.
Their first.
Yeah. It's an outlier. All right, but I like it. I like it as a
it's a good pick.
All
right, Carmen, Philadelphia, New England.
Philadelphia.
And I'm going to take Philadelphia. I don't love Philadelphia, but New England without Bruce Arena to me is shambles. They're not going to win without him.
Yeah.
And we should point out that the rumor is Bruce Arena coming back to be coach of DC United. Yeah. Anyway, we'll see about that.
Yeah.
Okay, Carmen. Here's the big one. Columbus versus Atlanta United.
I'm going Atlanta. Wait, is Gigi hurt or not hurt? Do we know yet?
He's not.
He's
playing.
not.
Okay, Atlanta.
I think we would have seen something by now if he was hurt. But
Thiago Mata is out the first game.
I'm going Atlanta in 3. We lose the first one. We win the next 2.
Okay.
I'm going, unfortunately, Columbus.
Yeah, me too.
Dang it.
I don't think it's going to be close.
I don't even it's just, it's so Carmen, have you and I not learned anything on this? There's some dumb bets that I'll do like Red Bulls versus Cincinnati. Just again, for the listeners, I do this type of thing because it sometimes.
God, I hope we're wrong.
Red Bull, yeah, I do too. God, I hope we're wrong.
I'm going to be rooting my ass off to be wrong.
Yeah.
Right.
And by the way, if we make it through that game, how much do our odds go up, Dave, to make a run?
I think if we make that, we're making the conference final.
Yeah, I mean, I think anything, if we get through Columbus, which I don't think we will, anything is possible.
Because I think that we can beat Orlando or Nashville.
Yeah. Because they're all.
But we cannot beat Columbus. I think, to me, Columbus is the best team in the MLS.
Are they all one and dones after that? It's a single elimination? Yeah. So I think if we get by Columbus, who's the better team, because we can't stop soft goals, that at that point, you're just kind of running the gauntlet a little bit.
Yeah.
And a whole different set of rules apply in terms of just the team playing. Like, I don't know. Different things happen. So,
but we'll get into details about the Columbus Atlanta.
Orlando,
later,
Nashville is the next one.
Yep.
Ooh.
Carmen, Orlando or Nashville?
Orlando with the home field advantage.
Orlando. Ugh, that hurt my feelings.
Yeah. Dave?
Nashville is limping into the playoffs. So I'm not that bullish on them, and I should be picking Orlando. I just don't think Orlando is that good a side. I'm going to go with that's the upset. I'm going to take Nashville.
Nashville to upset Orlando. That's not a bad pick either, Dave.
It's not.
That is not a bad pick either.
Orlando is clearly the weakest of the top 4 seeds.
Right, because they're kind of – doesn't feel like they've got a ton of momentum coming in.
But they have a good coach. But so does Nashville.
Yeah.
Nashville has a good coach too.
This is a tough
one. The thing about Nashville is they don't give up a lot of goals. And this playoff system is designed actually, if you can give up goals and you can go on the road and get a tie and win in PKs, that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
So normally, yeah. Anyway.
No, I think this might be the toughest pick out of all.
You
of them
can
so far.
argue in this playoff format that you should always pick the better defensive side.
But I'm gonna go with your stat of MLS home games being big, and
Home's
Orlando
big.
in a 3-game playoff. Orlando wins this.
Yep.
Okay. And what'd you say, Cats?
I
That
took
one?
Nashville.
He
Taking
took the
Nashville.
upset with Nashville, which
Okay.
yeah.
Okay,
So-
and now the other thing I'm going to ask you all to do ahead of the thing is to pick the conference winner from the East and West and who's going to be the MLS Cup champion. Now we'll change that once if you lose, going through. But let's predict right now who's coming out of the East, who's coming out of the West, and who going to win it all.
Okay.
All right.
Conference champion. So
So start with Mikey.
So who's
Dobbs.
making the cup?
Yep.
Okay.
And who's winning it?
I think. Can you? So on the left side, I'm gonna just make this easy on myself. I'm gonna say it's LAFC. Okay, I feel like that's the right pick. Our side is tougher. There's just so. I mean, there's so many teams I could see going through. Like, I mean, I could see Cincinnati, Philadelphia, even New England in their turmoil. I could see them. Columbus, Orlando, Nashville. I just feel like they're. Yeah, boy.
Ugh.
I'm gonna go. So I said LAFC. I'm gonna go with Columbus Crew.
Okay.
And then do you want me to pick who's gonna win, or
Yep.
are you gonna wait?
No, pick the winner.
Okay. So the winner. Man, I'm gonna go with LAFC. I hate to do it.
Ugh.
All right.
Their
Okay.
striker is on fire right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, Carmen out of the West.
Out of the West that I know. Let's go with. Let's see what we got.
The West is so wide open.
It really
I don't,
is.
I don't
think it's gonna be St. Louis.
I mean, Seattle's hard to bet against.
Yeah.
St. Louis is like where your heart's at, right? With new
So-
team.
I don't
Right.
love Seattle. I don't love St. Louis.
Oh,
So if Seattle goes and LAFC goes, that one game will be in Seattle.
Yes, Seattle's the
top seed?
Top seed, yeah.
I'm
And
gonna
at
go.
home, they're very good.
Okay, I'm gonna go Seattle.
so Seattle.
And then after the next one, right? East. Okay. And then the East, is it bad form if you picked Atlanta to win, but yet think Columbus will go to
This is a whole different prediction here.
Okay.
This is a whole different prediction. So you can go with Atlanta
so
making it all the way.
But I can't go Columbus.
You can do whatever you
Okay,
want.
I'm splitting the baby, and I'm saying if Columbus gets past Atlanta, which could possibly happen, I think it's Columbus goes to the conference final.
So is that your bet?
Yes.
Okay.
So I have Columbus, Seattle, and where's the MLS Cup?
That's it. That's your MLS Cup. So who's going to win that game?
Home, the top seed.
Top
Yeah.
seed. Okay, so that okay.
Remember, we hosted the cup.
Okay, Columbus.
Dave?
All right. I think on the East, it's easier, actually, believe it or not. I think the class is Columbus, and I think Columbus gets through, and I think they win MLS Cup again. And I'm going to shock you all
Ooh.
because out of the West, I'm picking Houston.
Yeah, not a bad bet.
Say what?
So here's my logic.
Because
Okay.
Houston made it to were they the Lamar Cup
They are.
winners? Okay, so they have a little bit of mojo from that, right?
Well, so the thing about Houston, so if you look at the teams, right? So first of all, St. Louis has been the best team, goal differential wise, best team, whatever. But you figure it's the first time, and I feel like that's it's tough. I don't think they're gonna win in their first year in the West. So Seattle, I think, is a pretender team. I don't think their squad is that good. LAFC I like, and that would have been my number one pick. But Houston has almost the same goal differential, right? And they have fewer goals given up. The only team that's given up fewer is Seattle. So I think Houston can go on the road and get a result. I mean, Seattle, the thing about it, the thing that strikes you in Seattle, right? So Seattle has given up the fewest in the whole West. They've only given up 32, but they've only scored 41. They cannot score. And I just don't think that gets you through the playoffs. You got to be, MLS is a high scoring playoff league, right? So St. Louis has scored the most. And so you would just say, to me, St. Louis on paper looks like the best team. But I just have a hard time seeing they're going to win in the first
That's
half.
why I'm going with the LAFC because they got the best striker in the league.
LAFC was there last year.
Minus
I think their
Giacomakis.
coach is good. That the team is hot. They scored 54. They've only given up 39. They're good. Their goal differential is second best in the league, just behind St. Louis, but only 1 or 2 above Houston. And I'm just saying, I think there's a dark horse.
Okay.
So I think that LAFC, even being the better team, could go to Seattle and lose. I think Houston upset St. Louis. And then I think
Thank you.
Yeah, then I think Houston can go to Seattle and get an upset because Seattle can't score.
Okay.
Okay.
That's my dark horse pick. Y'all want to,
I like it.
dark horse pick. But I think Columbus is the class. I think they are the best team. I think they are going to win it all again. I mean, it's amazing for a franchise that's like got nothing going for it. No offense to Columbus. They've done really well.
So none of us predicted Atlanta United to win the whole thing, which is depressing. As fans of Atlanta United,
we know way too much about Atlanta to know better.
Yeah.